Good morning to you all. Well, it's not a good morning because it's raining, but we're going to ignore that and focus on the positives. It's about 6:15. I'm on my way to Dorchester to catch a bus. No, I'm on my way to Bridport to catch a bus to Dorchester, where from there, as always, I'll be getting the train to London. I don't know if you can tell by the sneaky peek of the cosplay, but I'm going to Mormon again. 8th time now. It was only last week that I went with Dorothy. This time I'm going with Konnor. You might remember him from mine and Alex's Back to the Future video. We met up a little bit because he was seeing Jersey Boys. Now he's a Mormon fan and we've never seen it together, so we thought let's book a matinee. So I'm in an Elder Price cosplay. I will only show you when I get to the theatre because firstly it's raining. Secondly, it has fake blood on it. You Mormon fans will have an idea of what that cosplay entails. But yes, that's why. Also, another thing I forgot to mention, I'm not wearing glasses right now. No, I'm wearing contacts. And that is because when I got up this morning, my glasses broke. So I had to put contacts in for the first time in like over a year. So far so good. They stung a bit at first, but now they're better. I'm going to put this away because it started raining a lot more and I need to get moving. But see you later. On the train, probably. Or at breakfast. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, you did catch me at breakfast in one of my favourite little cosy coffee shops. It was so nice, considering how badly it was raining outside. But then I was thrown back into the rain to catch my train. I tried so hard to get a really aesthetic shot of the train, but everyone kept walking and running in front of me and it didn't work. But here you go anyway. Hey, so I'm finally on the train. I'm soaking wet. It is raining outside. I'm actually, it's funny. I messaged Jed, or like anyone in the Mormon cast, to ask if it was raining in London right now because I don't have anything else. My Back to the Future hoodie is like damp, but oh well. I'm excited, and also I will be inside most of the time anyway. But yeah, train journey. I had some nice breakfast just because we're getting there sort of midday, so we're not really having like lunch, so I just thought I'd fill up beforehand. Another thing I will be very happy to show you is my artworks for the cast again. So this one is for Gavin Alex, obviously it's Joseph Smith, which I did, All American Prophet. So this one's been on here before, but last Wednesday when I was with Dorothy, Tad was like, oh, you know, the one that you gave me before got all like crumbled and like ripped and all of that, so I felt really bad, so I printed him a new one. So I hope he appreciates it, because I actually bought a little plastic wallet thing for him to put it in. And then obviously since Jed Hoyle, I think his name is, was so nice to me last time, I had to draw him a little bit of Pop-Tarts fan art, but what ended up happening was I forgot to do this one until yesterday, so that's why he's looking a bit weird, but honestly I feel like it looks cute. And then obviously I did this for Philip Catchpole.
This is Morton. This train is for London Waterloo.
Wait for
the
this
next
to finish,
station
rude.
is Wool.
Okay. I finished the Brigham Young one for Philip Catchpole as well, so number one good friend Brigham Young. Very happy to give these to them, so yeah, that's cool. I look so different without glasses. I hate it.
I'm sorry, I was meant to whack your head. I was meant to whack your head in the face.
That's fine. Now I can finally show you the freaking blood-stained Elder Price cosplay. Because I wasn't going to wear them outside.
I don't know why I feel that I was to lick it.
That's a McKinley thing.
Lick it.
Because he's also dressed as McKinley.
I would lick it as well.
We're doing like a weird it's not a couple's costume because we're not a couple, but do you know what I mean? Konnor, are you alright?
Yeah.
Just pull you back. So we were in Lodge 4, so Connor's favourite section to sit in, fun fact. He was in seat 1, I was in seat 2 this time, and it was really, really great. Turns out that today was a very cover-heavy show. Very cover-heavy. We had Oliver Jacobson as Cunningham, so first time I've seen him and he was absolutely amazing. We had Stephen Rowley as McKinley again. He's improved so much, but I'll talk about that later. But it also meant that I couldn't really give out anything because there was no one there to really give it to, although I did give the 10th anniversary gift to Brian, and he said that everyone liked it, so that's good. So I guess for everything else, I'll just have to wait till next time. So yeah, it felt like a very different show with so many people out. There was a lot of people out, even in the ensemble, like very, very understudy heavy. But I didn't mind it. It was nice to have it different though. But I'm just on my way home now. But I'll talk more about it at home, because I actually want to this time, because so many new people were on, and it was really good. Just in case anyone doubted me, bright coffee for the journey home. Never fails. Right, I'm talking about Mormon again. I know the last time I went to Mormon I said I'm not going to talk about it or review it because there's not really anything else I want to add to my other ones other than I love the show. But, as you would have seen earlier on in the vlog, we had a very cover-heavy show. This was the cast list that was outside, displayed in the foyer area. Don't know why I said outside, but that was that one. So we had a lot of covers on. But honestly, I think the only ones I really want to touch on are the covers for McKinley and Cunningham. There were so many other covers on in the ensemble, but I only really want to talk about the leads because I think they're the only ones that I really knew who they were covering, if that makes sense. So I have seen Stephen Rowley as McKinley before, and what I said, I can't remember if I said this actually, but what I thought before was that he wasn't the best fit for McKinley as a character. Because McKinley's written to be overly stereotypically gay, he just didn't give that. And also, with the sort of build-up from the Broadway run and the sort of McPrisley subtext that has started in pretty much all of the productions, it just wasn't there, which is kind of disappointing when you're so used to watching Stevie do all of that. So that was last time though. This time, me and my friend Konnor were holding out for some sort of hope that he'd improved, and boy he had. So I don't know if, you know, everything in November was a confidence thing. I mean, I don't know how long he's actually been doing the show and like being a cover for McKinley in particular. So I don't know if it's a confidence thing and that he's just gotten a bit more confident, or he's, you know, been new and then sort of developed the character over some time. And especially because you're an understudy, you don't really have the same amount of time to develop a character than like the main actors do, because you're not playing it all the time, so you don't really get to experiment with stuff. But I did notice that he did a lot more of the subtexty stuff with Elder Price, which was really nice to see, because honestly, it is one of my favourite like little inside jokes to see, and especially being like part of the fandom. It's just like a little oh moment. But yeah, he actually did that, and I'm really impressed. He did a lot more gay movements during Turn It Off at the end, when he's going bam, pow, push it down, like all of that was flawless. But I still think, and I'm trusting Konnor on this because I've never seen Rowley play Elder Price, but I think he's more suited to Elder Price. I still feel like a lot of his just general acting as McKinley was a lot more like Dom as Elder Price, which, you know, it's fine. But it meant that there wasn't really much of a contrast between how they were acting, but I do appreciate that he's grown into the character a little bit more. Again, I don't know how long he's been doing it or when his first McKinley debut was, but I'm just saying that it looks like he's grown more into the character. Again, don't know when he started though, so I'm not gonna say that he definitely has and that's definitely what it is, but it feels like that. Now quickly on to Oliver Jacobson, who was our Cunningham for that day. I was so excited. I hadn't seen him before as Cunningham. Konnor had. They're actually pretty good buddies. And he was really good. He was really good. He reminded me a lot of Josh Gad actually, so it was kind of like original Broadway cast nostalgia, even though he wasn't copying him entirely. Like, he had very chaotic energy, which honestly is how Cunningham's supposed to be. But he just sort of took it all the way up. One thing that caught me off guard about his performance is, if you haven't seen the show, there's a character called Nabalungi, and it's kind of a theme that Cunningham can't say her name right. And I'm so used to the names that Konnor uses now, because I've seen Konnor the most out of all three Cunninghams that I have now seen live. So I'm most accustomed to what comes out of Konnor's mouth when he's talking about Nabelungi. Oliver got creative, that's all I'm gonna say. It was really, really funny. It caught me off guard so much. I also kind of like that he wasn't, like, he was chaotic, but he wasn't so annoyingly dramatic, if that makes sense. I feel like I'm not complaining about Josh Gad's performance or Konnor's performance or anything. I'm just saying that he wasn't like he's supposed to be annoying, but you're supposed to feel for him, and he's supposed to be a bit of a relatable character, even if you can't fully relate. I mean, I kind of relate to Cunningham, personally. But yeah, he definitely reminded me more of Tom and Josh. I feel like Konnor has his like very own thing, and I'm not saying the others aren't like original or anything, but Konnor is like set apart from all of the others in terms of like the theming of the character. So it was really nice. As I said, I kind of got a bit of sort of Broadway nostalgia, even though I never saw it on Broadway, obviously, apart from the bootlegs, slime tutorials, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, no, that was really fun. He was really fun as Cunningham. But yeah, no, I like that he was a structured character instead of just annoying. Because he's written as a structured character, so, you know, he should be played that way. His vocals were great, especially during Man Up. Again, I've gotten so used to Konnor just breaking his vocals in that song, which is funny, and I love it, and I asked him about it once, and he said his vocals are not okay, but we're gonna ignore that. No, but the vocal choices and everything, like, it's so different and it's nice. It was so nice to see so many understudies on, because it just felt like a different show, and I'm not gonna lie, I feel like it's kind of preparing me for the September cast change, which I'm speculating about, because I know that Stevie's leaving, and that's all we know, because he's the only one that's officially posted about it. But obviously I talked to some of the front of house staff at Mormon, and, you know, a lot of them have said that, you know, a lot more people are going, so I need to mentally prepare. Speaking of front of house staff, as I've said earlier in this video, I gave out my 10th anniversary present as a bit of a late present. And I was talking to one of the ushers on Instagram, and she said, hey, for the 10th anniversary we had these, like, you know, special stickers that we put on the brochures and all of that. Do you want me to save some for you and your friend? So I've got a 10th anniversary brochure for Mormon. I'm gonna come a little bit closer. Oh god. Yeah, I think it... Oh, okay, hold on. London's 10th anniversary performance, 21st of March 2023. That is so cool. I love it. And it's the same brochure as the one that I have there, but just having the sticker on it, it's kind of a novelty for someone who's such a big fan. And even the usher said that. She was like, you know, not many people actually knew there was a 10th anniversary going on, so it's nice to give it to the actual fans, which I think is really sweet. So yeah, got that one. But now, I am going to throw you back into the outside world as I go to Newsies with Konnor. Roll the clip. Oh, I dropped it. Bye! So hello, it's me again. Now it's time, almost a week later, for Newsies with Konnor. It's Thursday the 20th of April, and we're seeing the matinee today. Also, I'm sorry I'm so out of breath. I just had to run home to get my charger because silly on me forgot it. Almost. Remembered at the last second. So it's quite a panicked walk into town now to catch my bus to Weymouth, but I'll make it. I'll make it. I have faith in myself. Also, no, I am not dressed as Marty unintentionally. It's actually very intentional because I was quite clever. So, long story short, Konnor has a very good Newsboys cosplay. It's very, very good. And I was really sad because I don't have anything Newsies for a cosplay. And then I thought, Newsies is set in 1899. Who's a time traveller? That's right, it's Marty McFly. I am going to hopefully get some more jeans from M&S though, because these ones, if you don't remember my Wicked video, have my mum's blood on them, which is slightly concerning to anyone who doesn't know the context. But you can definitely tell, which is you know, a bit of a hindrance. So I'm hoping to go to M&S to get some more. I'm sorry, I'm so out of breath. Oh well. Related to the Marty cosplay, I have a little surprise coming for when I get to London, but I'll save that for then. Because right now, I just want to walk, and this isn't helping my out of breathness from earlier. So for now, I'll just say bye. After saying goodbye to you, I had some pretty immaculate bus vibes. I was actually on my old college bus, so it felt really weird. When I got to Weymouth, I did manage to go to M&S and get some more jeans. Surprisingly, a bit more cosplay accurate to Marty, which I was impressed by. And then obviously I went to the platform, got the train, blah 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 blah. So, I managed to get some new jeans that aren't, you know, stained with my mum's blood first off. But that also means I'm on the train to London, which is...
Upway, Dorchester South, Morton, Wool, Wareham, Alton Heath, Penworthy, Poole, Bournemouth, Folkestone, for Boscombe, Christchurch, New Milton, Brockenhurst, Southampton Central, Southampton Airport Parkway, Winchester, Basingstoke, Clapham Junction, and
This is an
London
absolute
Waterloo.
disgrace.
The next station
She's
is
interrupting
Upway.
me. Are you done? Okay, we're done. I didn't even have that much left to say other than I've got breakfast and a coffee and all of that. But I'm very excited to see Konnor again. So the Back to the Future surprise in London wasn't that I was going to see the show, but Konnor suggested taking a few Marty pics in front of the Adelphi, which we definitely did. But what's really funny is that Back to the Future also has Thursday matinees. You will not believe the looks on the security guards' faces when I took all these pictures, turned around to Konnor and went, okay, let's go to Newsies now. Oh my god, it was hilarious. I've time travelled back. I met this lovely person. Hello. That was a theme in the Mormon one as well. You were like, can I lick you?
Not in a kinky way.
No. Anyway, about to show the view. I will say I am very excited to have these seats because last time I was like all the way up there. So I'm excited to be...
Grab a Pete. Shotgun.
Yeah. Okay, you shotgun one. Yes. Cool. I just like to be more immersed. So I got home. Usually I would have filmed on the train to say that I was going home. That was impossible. I was supposed to get a train at 19:05. The train at 18:05 got delayed by an hour and a half. So when that one actually started, you know, leaving, they piled about 3 trains worth of people onto one and it was cramped as hell and I couldn't do anything. Got a refund though, so that's nice. But I'm home, I'm safe. It's about a week later because I'm so bad at filming little follow-ups and that, but I'm just about to film all of my reviews and that for the shows, so you would have seen them earlier though. But I'm just saying, yeah, that's why. But I did get a Pret coffee because I'm that person. And it's also... I just kicked my ukulele. It's also what I do every time, so I didn't fail you. Yeah. Now on to the Newsies review, because you've already seen the Mormon one. Boy, do I have new opinions about Newsies, let me tell you. I'm the kind of person that if I see something or like watch a movie, it takes me the second watch to really sort of understand and connect with the characters, and that is exactly what happened with Newsies, people. Because I remember in my first review I was quite vague about Newsies. It wasn't that I didn't like it, obviously, but I didn't feel like I could talk about any of the characters because I didn't know about any of the characters, really, and like who they were supposed to be. But seeing it twice, I have gotten so many more opinions on characters and characterization, and especially a very specific costume choice, which I know a lot of people don't like, and I'm going to spread awareness on the issue, even though it is an issue. Anyway, so, Newsies. I can't go through Newsies without talking about the famous Jack Kelly, the lead in the show. So Jack Kelly is played by Michael Lindsay. I'm pretty sure I'm pronouncing that right. I'll put his little picture up here. I think him as Jack is a weird one, right? Because after watching Newsies, the Broadway pro shot, I think from 2017, and seeing Jeremy Jordan play Jack, they have very different characterizations, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing, because it never is, because you never want to copy someone. but his suitability to play Jack, and Konnor kind of agreed with this because he kind of brought this up. So credits to Konnor for this opinion. His voice is a bit too soft for Jack, because in Santa Fe, the song, you know, cutting the end of Act 1, he doesn't sound like... Okay, because the strikes happened, right? They've all been attacked, Crutchy's been taken away, and Jack's... Yes, he's supposed to be sad, but he's also really pissed off. And I don't get that when I'm watching Michael. Konnor, again, pointed this out to me, and that his voice is very soft. Like, it's a nice voice. He's got a really nice singing voice. It's really strong. But he doesn't have, like, so much emotion in it when he's singing. And I feel like that's something that could be improved a little bit, especially if a character has just gone through that much trauma. Because Jeremy Jordan's performance was great for that. Like, he put so much heart into it. And I feel like, yeah, Michael could just be a little bit angry with it, you know? Like, he could really let it run completely wild. Because right now I feel like he's singing it way too softly. Like, I know he's supposed to be upset, but he's also supposed to have that, like, punch, you know? And I don't get it. Another thing about Michael that I know is directly not his fault is the costume. We've got to talk about Jack's red shirt. And I didn't want to have to do this. I think the first time I talked about Newsies, I said that I liked it. I don't know, but I think I said that I liked it. Or either that I just thought it in my head that I thought it was a good decision. Seeing it the second time and knowing more about the characters, it is a terrible decision to put Jack in red. Here we have a picture of the Broadway cast. Jeremy Jordan in the blue shirt. He stands out. He still stands out as Jack Kelly, which is what he's supposed to do because he's sort of the leader of the group, even though it's kind of Davey. Like, he's supposed to be the one that you're looking at, you know? And the reason it works here, even though he's in blue and all the other Newsies are pretty much mostly in beige, they have some blue on their costumes. They have little hints of it to make it blend into one. And Davey has a blue shirt, which also makes him sort of at the same level with Jack, but it still makes them band together as a crew, as a costume. Now, this is a picture from the Newsies UK Instagram. Notice how Jack is in the centre, bright red shirt, and everyone around him is in beige, or brown, or some variation. It doesn't work. I know they were trying to get him to stand out, you know? But it's so bad. Because normally, as someone who likes to analyse costumes and their meanings sometimes, I get that when you want to make a character stand out, you want to put them in a totally different colour. I get it. And sometimes it does work. The reason I don't think it doesn't work here is because when you want to make a character stand out for their colour and the boldness and all of that of their costume, it's kind of implied that they're totally different from the rest of the characters. Jack isn't. Jack is a Newsie, just like all the others. His only real difference is that he wants to go to this paradise place and this, you know, free land where he can do whatever he wants. But he's still a Newsie. The only reason I think he should stand out is to just tell the audience, hey, this guy's the leader. I don't think it should be a case where it's like, this guy's totally different from all the others. He isn't. And another reason it doesn't work is because the other Newsies don't have a hint of red in any of their costumes. And what makes me more mad about the situation is that in the, like, test photos and all of that, and all the advertising material that came out before Newsies came to Wembley, Jack had a blue shirt. I don't know what went wrong or what changed or whatever. Catherine's costume improved though, so I'm happy about that. Now, speaking of Catherine, I'm not really going to touch on her too much because, to be honest, as a character, she doesn't really do much for me. But I'm just going to say that I don't think the romance between Catherine and Jack was necessary. I know it's a big drama thing with her being the daughter of Pulitzer or whatever his name is, but it makes it cringe for me, and I don't like it. Like their song in Act 2, I just zoned out. I'm sorry, I don't like it. I like her as... I'd like it more
if she was like a minor character that, you know, came in and wrote the Newsies strike story and all of that, and maybe she was the daughter of this guy, right? Like, it doesn't matter. You still have the sort of betrayal plot of her being his daughter. Like, that doesn't change. Them not having a romance doesn't change the fact that she wrote their story into the paper and made it the headline, you know? So, like, it doesn't need to be there. And I was saying this earlier to Konnor, and it's just the fact that I know they did it because it's Disney, and you've got to have a romance and forbidden love and all of that, but it doesn't work in this show, and I don't know why. Another complaint, and I feel like it's something that could maybe overtake the romance and sort of replace it, is Jack caring a little bit more about Crutchy after he gets taken away to the refuge. And this is an issue with all of them as well. Crutchy is, like, not mentioned in Act 2 at all. I think, yeah, his only appearances in Act 2 are in the refuge, when he sings Letter from the Refuge, and then at the very end when you find out he's alive. None of the characters care about him. Like, they mention him a couple times, and then Race just goes on singing about how he's famous. Like, none of them give a shit about Crutchy. I feel like if you were gonna have that sort of scene where Race is, like, so happy that he's famous, so happy that it's in the paper and all of that, I feel like you can do a thing where you have that contrasting with how they actually feel about the situation. Like, they're putting on this really confident front of, I was in the paper, we're organising this strike, let's do this. And then contrast it with feeling actually really sad about it, and the fact that you've lost a friend. Like, I feel like it would be a really, really, really good time to have contrasting scenes. And also just mention Crutchy more, because no one seems to care about him after he gets taken. I think I'm making it very evident that Crutchy is one of my favourite characters, which is why I'm going to talk about Matthew Duckett next. As Crutchy, I think he was amazing as Crutchy. He's supposed to be this, like, really innocent boy, and I feel like he really embraced that. Like, there's a bit, I think it's during Carrying the Banner. Obviously all the other Newsies are dancing, Crutchy can't because of his leg. And he's being, like, wheeled around on the stage on this cart, and he's having the fucking time of his life. Like, he looks so happy, and it's so precious as well. Like, it's just, it's really nice. It's really nice. He's so, like, innocent and all of that, and the way he sings Letter from the Refuge is so good. Because the thing is, Crutchy doesn't like that he's in the refuge, obviously. I don't think anyone would. But it's the fact that when he's there, he tries to make light of the situation, and it sort of brings out his innocence a bit more. And one line that stands out to me in Letter from the Refuge, to sort of show the fact that he's trying to make it seem not as bad as it actually is when he tells Jack that the food isn't so bad, but they haven't had any food. So that's why it isn't so bad. Like, it's quite a funny song, actually, and I feel like it makes the audience feel not a little less bad for Crutchy, but it also sort of puts the audience in the mindset that Crutchy is in, and I like that, like, by making them laugh and making them think, oh, this isn't so bad, you know, it sort of gaslights the audience a little bit into thinking that Crutchy's fine. I will say, the first time I watched Newsies back in February, again, like I said, first viewing, first impressions, everything, I really thought they'd killed Crutchy, and I was really sad about that, but oh well. I know I've said so many negative things about the show, and I know I shouldn't. So look, think about positives. It's such a beautiful show, the characters are done really well, costuming, a bit of work. But it can get there. Seriously, I feel like if you just changed the colour of his shirt, it would be fine, but who am I to judge? The lighting is something else. Like, in the sort of darker moments where it's sort of, the lighting sort of shrinks onto the stage, because most of the time, because it's so interactive and they're running around the space is pretty light in general, but when they're all piled on the stage and it's like a pow moment, like a really, like, dark, gritty moment, the lighting just kind of shrinks in on them, and it is bone chilling. It is so good. I loved sitting in the Bronx, or the stalls, as anyone would say, for any other theatre. it was just so more interactive. And it was so much more fun. I feel like if you are going to this show, get the seats that are going to give you the interaction, because when I was sat in Manhattan last time and I was watching the stage, I could see all the other seats that were getting the interaction and the immersive experience, and I'm sat there thinking, but I want that. So I was getting jealous of how other people were experiencing the show instead of just, you know, being in my moment and enjoying the show. So I feel like if they're gonna do it, you know, in an immersive way, I feel like they need to find a way to get everyone a bit more involved, you know? But it was great. I actually got a paper out of it. They're in 2 halves, but I can show you. New Newsies price 60 cents per 100. This is going on my wall, but I love it. It's so cool. And then I also saw some of the cast. I saw Matt Duckett, who played Crutchy, obviously. I'm so glad Konnor had this silver pen because, like, wow, it works so well on this program. I also got Ryan Coples, who played Davey. His signature's right at the bottom there. You can't really see it, the light's reflecting. There we go. I also got a photo with him. And the best part about Ryan was that he recognised my Back to the Future cosplay. And I told him my whole idea of it being in 1899 and the fact that Marty's time travelled back to watch Newsies. He thought that was really funny and clever, and so I'm very proud of that decision now. I was really hoping that one of them would get it, and he did. And he said that literally right after we took this picture, which was great. Rory Shufford was also in the performance, going on as a swing. I'm pretty sure he's just a swing in the ensemble. He could cover other roles, I'm not too sure. But he also signed the top of it there. Oh god, the light's reflecting so bad on this. Oh, you can see it shimmering. There we go. So yeah, I got those 3 and the paper, so it was a fun time. Yeah, that was a better experience at Newsies, you know, compared to last time, so I'm very happy. I'm actually booked to go again in just over a month's time. I wanted to see it again before it shuts again because, man, it's so good, and I'm glad I have a different outlook on it now. But for now, I'm gonna go. Next time I will be seeing Bonnie and Clyde. I mentioned this in the last video. I got tickets to Bonnie and Clyde. I'm so happy. So yeah, I'm seeing Bonnie and Clyde, and there's also a surprise little Book of Mormon trip in there as well, which is fun. But see you next time at Bonnie and Clyde!